What began as a fun family day at Knott's Berry Farm quickly turned into a nightmare the Wheeler family would never forget. In September 2009, 12-year-old Kyle Wheeler and his father Russell boarded the Xcelerator roller coaster, a crowd favorite known for its thrilling speed and cutting-edge design. Since its debut in 2002, the ride had amazed visitors with its unique hydraulic launch system, which could propel the train from 0 to 82 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds. But on this day, the unthinkable happened. Just 4 seconds after the train left the station, disaster struck. A launch cable snapped, lashing toward Kyle in a horrifying moment that was captured on camera. How could something like this happen? What went wrong that day? Let's uncover the story behind the infamous Xcelerator accident and what became of Kyle Wheeler. The story of the Xcelerator began long before that tragic day. In December 2001, Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, announced the arrival of an exciting new ride, the Xcelerator. It was set to replace the aging Windjammer Surf Racers coaster and promised to be a groundbreaking addition to the park. With Intamin, a world-famous roller coaster manufacturer, designing the ride and a $13 million budget backing it, expectations were sky high. And when the Xcelerator opened, it did not disappoint. According to the Knott's Berry Farm website, the Xcelerator was a marvel of engineering and adrenaline. Riders were launched from 0 to 82 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds, hurtling 205 feet into the sky before plunging straight down at a heart-pounding 90-degree angle. This wasn't just any roller coaster. It was the first to feature Intamin's revolutionary hydraulic launch system. Unlike traditional chain lifts, this cutting-edge technology used pressurized hydraulic fluid to catapult trains from a standstill to jaw-dropping speeds in mere seconds. It was a game-changer for the roller coaster industry. In just 7 months after its announcement, the Xcelerator was ready to dazzle thrill seekers. Opening to the public on June 22, 2002, the ride quickly became a fan favorite. Its 2,200 2-foot-long track promised just over a minute of pure adrenaline, capped with an aesthetic straight out of the 1950s. Knott's Berry Farm described the experience as a journey back to the days of greasers, beatniks, and classic cruising cars. Even the station was designed to immerse guests in the charm of a bygone era. Safety was a priority, with the ride featuring hydraulically operated T-bar lap bars and seatbelts. Before every launch, operators double-checked the restraints to ensure riders were secure. The Xcelerator ran with 2 trains, each carrying up to 20 passengers in its 5 cars, allowing more guests to experience the thrill. But even with all its innovation and nostalgic charm, no one could have anticipated the tragic events that would unfold on that fateful day in September 2009. Before the tragic incident in 2009, the Xcelerator was celebrated not just for its thrills, but for its strong safety record. However, it wasn't entirely without issues. In 2004, the ride was briefly shut down following fatalities on other attractions across the industry, leading Knott's Berry Farm to address concerns about its T-bar restraint system. After refurbishing the potentially defective restraints, the ride reopened and continued to draw crowds, cementing its status as a fan favorite. Occasionally, the Xcelerator's trains faced a rare but planned-for phenomenon called a rollback. This happened when a train failed to gather enough speed to clear the 205-foot climb, causing it to stall and roll back onto the launch track. Thankfully, magnetic brakes were in place to bring the train to a safe stop. Rollbacks could be caused by factors like weather, uneven weight distribution, or overheating, a detail that would play a critical role later in the story. On September 16, 2009, the Wheeler family, 12-year-old Kyle, his father Russell, and mother Anita, visited Knott's Berry Farm for a fun day out. The park, nestled in California, had humble beginnings as a berry farm in the 1920s before transforming into America's first theme park. For the Wheelers, who had traveled from Weaverville in Buncombe County, North Carolina, it was meant to be a memorable family outing. The day was filled with laughter and excitement as the family enjoyed the park's attractions. Around 4 p.m., Kyle and his father decided to take on the Xcelerator. Sitting in the front row for an up-close view of the action, they prepared for the thrill of a lifetime. Meanwhile, Anita watched proudly from the sidelines. The Xcelerator's hydraulic launch system fired up, catapulting the train forward at incredible speed. But just 4 seconds into the ride, tragedy struck. A launch cable snapped, whipping violently toward the front row. It tore through the car with terrifying force, sending shards of metal flying and striking Kyle and his father. Moving at a blistering 80 miles per hour, the cable inflicted catastrophic injuries on Kyle. From her vantage point, Anita witnessed the horrifying moment unfold. "I literally thought I had just watched my son and husband die in front of my eyes," she later recounted. Kyle was screaming in pain, while his father desperately shouted at the ride operators to stop the coaster. In a chilling video of the incident, you can clearly see Kyle's expression change from excitement to sheer terror. Despite the chaos, he managed to stay composed, even as the launch cable snapped. The ride failed to build enough momentum to clear the 205-foot drop, causing it to roll back. Once the train stalled, the ride operator realized something was wrong and immediately stopped it. After the ride came to a halt, Russell rushed to get help and emergency services were called. Kyle was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries, and another passenger, who had complained of back pain, was also taken to the hospital. In the aftermath, the Xcelerator was shut down and an investigation was launched. Knott's Berry Farm released a statement assuring the public that the cable was regularly replaced. The cable on the Xcelerator ride is changed regularly. It was last replaced in December 2008 and is rated for 1 year. It was not due to be changed until December 2009. Regular maintenance was performed, and over 10 million people have ridden the Xcelerator over the past 8 years without any prior incidents. But investigators found these claims to be misleading. It turned out that in 2004, a similar ride, the Top Thrill Dragster, had suffered a snapped launch cable that injured 4 people. This raised concerns about the safety of hydraulic launch systems and how they were being maintained. Experts from the California Division of Occupational Safety and Health were brought in to investigate. Their 6-month-long inquiry uncovered that the incident could have been completely avoided. They discovered that improper maintenance of the cables was the main cause. The investigation revealed serious lapses. Both Knott's Berry Farm and the ride's manufacturer, Intamin, were found at fault. The maintenance instructions provided by Intamin were overly complicated and unclear. It was never clear whether inspections were supposed to happen every month or every 6 months, leading to confusion. As it turned out, inspections were supposed to occur every month. However, Knott's Berry Farm had only been conducting them every 6 months. Even though the park believed the inspections were required twice a year, they were 19 days overdue when the incident happened. This meant that the cable should have been inspected and replaced 19 days before Kyle and his father boarded the ride. After the investigation, Knott's Berry Farm released a statement acknowledging the issue. The investigation identified shortcomings in the manufacturer's instructions regarding the inspection and maintenance of the cable. As a result, the California State Agency required the park to implement stronger safeguards to assess cable integrity and work with the manufacturer to update the maintenance guidelines. The report also revealed that the broken cable had suffered severe fatigue, contributing to the catastrophic nature of the incident. In fact, 18 out of the 20 magnets located on the bottom of the coaster cars, vital for launching and braking, were sheared off during the accident. While the investigation unfolded, it was clear that the Wheeler family's lives had been changed forever. Kyle stayed in the hospital for months, undergoing multiple surgeries to repair the damage. He endured extensive skin grafts and months of physiotherapy. Thankfully, after all the hardship, he regained function in his knee and ankle. Kyle's mother, Anita, reflected on the experience. "This whole ordeal has been incredibly hard on my entire family. I'm overwhelmed with emotion most days. I can't talk about it without crying. It was just horrible." During Kyle's recovery, the family faced hospital bills totaling around $60,000. Fortunately, they reached an undisclosed settlement with the park, which helped cover both medical expenses and the emotional distress they had endured. Kyle eventually made a full recovery, and the Xcelerator reopened in 2010, still running today. Share your thoughts on this case in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. For more in-depth stories like this one, be sure to explore our channel.